let's get this party started, guys. Anybody? No, nobody.
Nobody.
Hang on. Is this on? No.
No.
Did you see that with this? I'll have what he's having.
I recognize that sound.
I have Pepsi.
This is water.
Yes.
Fabulous nails, Jacqueline. Your nails look amazing.
What'd you say?
Your nails look amazing.
Thank you. I got more on this side too.
What? You have 2 whole hands?
And my toes too, but I won't show those to you.
Save something for the late end of the party, okay? You gotta save something.
Gotta keep the mystery alive.
I'm busy updating my DOC on my digital cookie, not DOC, my phone. Trying to behave.
Whoa.
Will someone say something so I know I have audio?
Hi, Christy.
Hey, Ray, how are you?
Good.
Thanks. I'm well too. Can you hear Cat in the Hat behind me?
No.
Awesome. We were trying to find that happy volume where it was not so low that he would feel angry and not be able to hear it. And ooh, I have bad lighting, don't I? And so high that everyone would hear Cat in the Hat.
I get it. I'm sure there will be plenty of screaming at some point. At least I'm upstairs and not downstairs.
I'm hiding in my bedroom because there is no happy volume in my house.
Yes, I'm hiding in my bedroom also. But my wife's makeup mirror just came on and I don't know why. So it has all these bright lights right in my face. I probably should just unplug it because it seems like it has a short in it.
The short might not be a good idea, but your lighting looks fabulous.
No, does it?
Yes,
Good.
it does.
You look wonderful.
All right. Perfect.
Maybe she planned it for you.
She might have, yes.
Everybody needs a ring.
Yes.
That should be one of the early bird incentives.
I know. Don't talk early bird with me. I'm maxed out on early bird.
I'm just starting early bird.
I want to talk about early bird, Christina, because I just got all of the 1 cent package thingy uploaded to eBuddy today.
Nice.
Very cool. Thank you. That's super exciting. That means they'll be able to see the change in their
I
earnings.
haven't checked in eBuddy, but it should be an extra line on the top left where it says cookies. I haven't gone in to verify, but my peeps at the bakery said it's done.
Let me go
That's so
check.
awesome. Thank you. That's really exciting. It's always nice when people can see that because then they know that we are true to our word. And because I know that, people watch and wait and wonder. And
Where is this supposed to be, Jacqueline? Because I have Ryan's credentials, so I can cheat and look to tell you if it's
So
there.
which troop, is it your troop?
60742, yeah.
Jacqueline's like, are they on the list?
Oh, yeah, it does. Okay, it says generic proceeds for early
Yep, there it
bird
is. Yep.
0.01, yes. Okay, so yeah, it shows. It's right in like the before all the transactions listing out.
How does it tally up? How many cents did you get so far? I know you have a busy troop. Your daughter's troop's super busy. How many
They-
cents did they get from this?
So far, they're at 5,400 packages. So
54.29.
yeah.
$54?
I'm trying to remember the decimal point.
Every penny counts.
All right.
That's pretty cool. That's nice.
Yes, it is.
And then the
Okay.
service units are also get the penny per box this year, right? Penny per package.
Yeah, we'll have to do that separate.
Sarah, I like your background.
Thanks, I never used this one before.
I like
One
that
of the ones
one.
that Jamie created.
Yeah, I like it. The day I went to download them was when I was having all those issues with not having any ability to download anything, and then I just never circled back to try again.
Mm-hmm. It's nice because I can't see the craziness behind me, which is nice. Oh,
Until the extra head pops in, right? And then there's like floating heads in
Yeah.
the backgrounds. That's always
Yes.
funny to see.
when you're trying to show something to someone, that's why I don't like to have it on like during the day for normal work stuff. 'Cause I'm like, look at this. I'm like, oh wait, you can't see it. Levi and Abraham are playing currently, so I'm sure they're would be in view. Mhm.
There they go.
We have two doors that like go into our living room, the one behind me and the one in the kitchen. So it's like a circle. So we literally have like a racetrack in our house, which is super awesome. Just so everyone knows that as well. Mhm.
A million years ago when I had a dog, it was the same. I think they can make a racetrack out of anything, but it was that same constant. It was a stairway that
Mhm.
was like, there was hall and like, I don't know, they
Yeah.
just circle around, crazy, but it was like cat dog chasing.
Yes,
Mayhem.
absolutely.
That's how it is at my house, but it's the dog chasing the kids.
My cat followed me around the block again this afternoon.
Those are the cutest pictures. I love them.
It was hysterical. He actually this time went right up to Jack and his friend Henry while they were playing in their driveway, and then went and checked out their garage before he came back home with me.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
I changed positions, Angela.
Gonna say the color looks very familiar. So there's 14 people in the waiting room. If you want me to let them in.
It is 7 o'clock, so I think we should do that.
Hello.
Hello.
Jillian, you look very different from the last time I saw you.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I look
Your
like,
hair's a different color. It looks great.
oh, thank you. I did make it darker and it is wet. So
Okay, we have about 39 folks on, so I'm going to give it just maybe like 3 more minutes to make sure everybody has a chance.
I have a joke if anybody wants to hear it. Anybody? Does anybody want to hear a story about a broken pencil?
Go for it.
Never mind, it's
Oh, I know
pointless.
Yes, Jacqueline, I want to hear it.
Oh, I just said it. Did you miss it?
I missed the punchline.
Okay. I said, does anybody want to hear a story about a broken pencil? And I said, never mind, it's pointless. Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba. And it's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
Okay.
Stick with the cookies, Jacqueline.
Thank you. I'll be here all week.
Okay. We're up to 43 people on the call. I think in honor of everybody's time, we should go ahead and get started. And then I'm guessing that folks will come in as their work allows them to. Just fixing my computer. So welcome everybody to our town hall. It's lovely to see many faces, many people who don't have their cameras on, but it's still good, glad to have you here. So our purpose for tonight is just sort of kind of rounding up any questions that folks have about the cookie sales and anything around those issues, which we have Ray and we have Jacqueline, and I can't see anyone else's screen, so we have our team that's will help answer questions. And then we are probably thinking that there may be some questions about reopening. So I can talk about that a little bit and what that's going to look like. And then we also might have some questions about camp. So we have a lot of our camp staff on. I see Chainsaw. I can't see everybody on my screen, but I see that there's a lot of. So I am ready to go ahead and just get started with any questions that anyone has. I see that. And go ahead and put them in the chat. I'm watching the chat too. Okay, I think it might be easier if I just start us off and talk a little bit about our plans for reopening, because I know there's been a lot of questions around that. And then you can ask me as we go. I am not ready to give the absolute details yet because we just had the meeting today and are working on it, but we are going to be able to give our plan and directions in detail in the next newsletter, which will come out on March 30th. And then from there, we will be planning to reopen following the New York State guidelines in the first week of April. So we will be following all the guidelines regarding the percentage of people that can be in the building, meetings, but we will be opening up for meetings. So for those of you who have been really hoping that we would be able to open up, we are going to be doing that. So look for that, more to come. And we have a pretty detailed plan led by our safety team and Christina Verratti. Thank you very much for those of you so hard about it. And are there any questions regarding that, the reopening? You can go ahead and raise your hand, or actually it's best to put them in the chat because I can't see everybody. No questions? Okay. I think I'm going to turn it over to Ray and Jacqueline because it looks like most of the questions are about adventure prizes and cookies. So I'm going to mute myself and let you guys take over.
Perfect. How you doing, everybody? Jacqueline, do you want to jump in and go over numbers first, and then we can answer where we are with cookies?
Sure, I would love to. Hi, everybody. I'm Jacqueline, product sales manager, for those that don't know me. I have just a few cookie numbers to share. We are at 70% of our membership as selling girls. We have about 8,100 girls that are registered. And of those girls, we have a little less than 5,900 girls selling. So definitely a lot less than we normally have in a normal season, but our girls are rocking it. As of 1:45 p.m. earlier today, we had 1,214,000 packages sold. And I like to say that we have increased that by almost 1,800 packages in the past 5 hours. So that's really exciting. Girls are still getting out there and selling cookies. And our per girl average increased from 206 to 207 today. So that's a huge per girl average. We definitely surpassed last year's digital cookie sales. And the year before, last year, we surpassed the year before's digital cookie sales. So we are at 304,000 packages sold online, which is amazing. Because if you think about it, we did, I think it was 250,000 digital packages during the whole span of our never ending cookie sale last year. So these girls are doing amazing. And then our cookie cupboards, anybody who's frequent at one of our cookie cupboards knows that inventory is very low right now. We do have cookies out there. We have actually a really decent amount of cookies in our cupboards. It just might be that cupboard A doesn't have tag-alongs, but cupboard B is sitting on a ton of tag-alongs, but they may not have mints, but cupboard C has mints and no s'mores. So it's just a matter of trying to figure out who has cookies. We did end up getting extra cookies in from the bakery. We did put that order in earlier today. We are told that the cookies will arrive Friday. We just don't know exactly what time on Friday, and we don't know if our delivery agent will get those cookies out to the cupboards in time for the weekend. But we will let everybody know how it'll work and when and how. And the 3 main cupboards that will that are in desperate need of cookies are Cicero, Watertown, and New Hartford. So those are the cupboards that are going to really get a big refill as soon as we can get cookies out to them. And then Sweet Support is our Gift of Caring our program, which is a really exciting program. So customers that donate $5 to the Sweet Support program, girls can earn rewards for those donated packages. And we have a really big goal this year of 50,000 packages of donated cookies. And right now we're at a little over 23,000, which is really great, but we still have a lot way to go to get to that 50,000. But we are up over 23% over last year. So we're doing a really good job with our Gift of Caring. We just have to somehow get to that 50,000 package level by the end of the season. And all donated cookies will go to Meals on Wheels and first responders throughout NYPENN. So they will go to a very good home and be very much appreciated when they receive them.
Kathleen Hoagland had a question. What is the number of packages that a girl needs to sell to count as participating in order to do higher award fundraising on her own?
Any bit of participating is considered like earning a patch. So she can sell 25 patches to earn the theme patch, and that's considered participating. The unsold cookies in our cupboards, those go to our Gift of Caring recipient. That was a question that we just received.
Just saw that. All right, well, all right, thanks, Jacqueline. I'll jump in because I know there's a lot of questions about award vouchers and whatnot, or adventure vouchers. I apologize. So adventure vouchers. So adventure vouchers are cumulative. They start off at the 200 package level for $10, then $275 you get 15, $375 15, $75 $25, $750 $75. And then there's the troop reward, the $20 for hitting a 275 PGA. And if you sell 55 packages of digital cookies, you also get a $5 adventure voucher. So the question is, what can the adventure vouchers be used for? And like we've said before, kind of what can't they be used for? They can be used for camp. They can be used for programs. They can be used for membership. They can be used in the store. We can order things from GSUSA using your adventure vouchers. They can also be used towards outside adventures. So say you want to go to Darien Lake or go hiking or skiing or something along those lines. they will be able to be used for those. There is going to be a jot form that will be put out, so we can either directly pay the vendor for that, or if you want to pay and be reimbursed, we can do that also. More details to come out on that. A lot of the stuff did get put out in the newsletter, but I will definitely keep covering it. So venture vouchers will be used sort of like cookie dough was in the past. You will get that voucher number in eBuddy, and then you will be able to use it in at the store. Where else? Double Knot and other areas that you were able to use cookie dough in the past. So any more questions about who do the vouchers get sent to? Specifically the ones that are in for the Troop PGA 275. Jacqueline, those are uploaded in eBuddy also for the Troop vouchers?
That we haven't decided for the Troop part of it, but the girl vouchers will be uploaded into eBuddy like they were last year for cookie dough. We probably can upload them for the Troop vouchers as well.
Okay, awesome. Zoo admissions, yes. Gift shops, it's actually used for an adventure, so I wouldn't necessarily consider a gift shop an adventure.
It's more of an experience. So the zoo is yes, the
yeah,
gift shop
experience.
no.
But the zoo definitely.
Mhm.
All right. Anything else out there we missed about adventure vouchers, or any more questions? All right. Well, Kalahari also.
Just a second, I do have a question. I'm trying to type it. I'm sorry. I didn't
That's
know.
all right.
I don't know what the proper etiquette is. Am I supposed to be on talking or am I supposed to be typing?
Go right ahead. Let us know.
Either way, it doesn't matter.
Okay, for individual adventure vouchers that the girls are earning on their own, say if one of my girls wants to go to the Bronx Zoo with her family, and I mean, can she submit, like, can that cover her admission, food, all of those things? Or are we going to try to figure out how to separate all of that stuff out? That was one of our questions. And we're also doing, as a troop, we're doing a trip to Hershey Park, hopefully, for our end of the year trip. And one of our things were with the $20 extra that we've already earned for our whole troop, are we going to be able to use that? Maybe technically it wouldn't be for souvenir or extra, money, however we figured out how to use that. How would that work?
Yeah, and I think, Ray, this is Julie, so I think the question from Beth is around that as well. It looks like, do troop vouchers have to be used as a troop? And then from Kathleen, last year's troop vouchers, can the girls use them for individual activities? So that's kind of a new thing due to, COVID in many ways. So those are some questions. I don't know if we've completely thought that through at this point, but you're muted, Ray. Sorry.
I'm not sure how that happened. Yes, we haven't completely thought the troop vouchers through, but troop vouchers are normally used for a troop experience. But we can revisit that. I'll get back to everybody on that, but we can revisit that.
And of course, if you're a Juliet, it's different as well. But an overall message that we want to give is that when the world opens up, we want our girls to be able to go into the world and have those experiences that are so important for their mental health, physically. And so I'm sure we will figure it out, right?
We will figure it out. Yep.
We're about finding an answer. Yes.
Yes, exactly. So exactly what Julie said. We will figure it out. And as long as it's an experience for the girl and the troop, we'll figure it out. All right. Any other things that I missed on adventure vouchers? Okay. If I did, feel free to reach out to me and I will definitely fill you in on any information. The Kalahari
Brad,
trip.
I have a
Yep.
question.
Yep.
So my troop got the vouchers, the $10 vouchers for the cumulative thing at the end of the year last year. How do we receive them? How do we get a hold of them?
The adventure vouchers from last year.
Yes.
Jacqueline, help me out here, but they were kept. We do have them on file.
Yep.
You were reaching out to, are we reaching out to Sandy at this point to get that information?
Yep, so we have them all on file. We can, they'll be, let's say, cumulative from last year to this year. If your troop earned them last year and this year, they'll be in one big database for everyone to redeem them. But so if you want to use them prior to the season ending, just reach out to us and we can let you know how to redeem them before the whole process gets finalized.
Yep.
Thank
And-
you.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Thank you, Jacqueline. As
Rick,
far,
Oh, you got the Juliets? Did you-
yeah, as far as the Juliets go, they, they can use their vouchers the same way. So that they will get, Jacqueline, that will be uploaded to anybody. They will get their voucher number, the amount, and they can use it for experiences. Obviously, they would probably go with a caregiver. Or, they can do the camp or whatever. It's the same way for the Juliets.
So I'm sorry, I still didn't, maybe I missed it, but like for our troop who's going to hopefully go to Hershey Park this year, if those girls wanted to take their $75, we have 3 of them that will have a $75 adventure voucher. Technically, their rooms and all of those other things are going to be covered for as far as the end of the year troop cookie money goes. Is there a way that we can substitute that so they can use that for whatever, if they want to, while we're in Hershey Park, go to the souvenir shop? I mean, that's what,
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking, I mean,
So-
we're on an adventure, we're doing something, but
So the troop is paying for the actual Hershey Park, not through the girls' individual adventure vouchers, is what you're saying?
correct. So, I mean, can we like finagle something there? Because
We can take a look at that. Like Julie said, our goal is to say yes for adventures. It really, it's meant to pay for things that facilitate the experience. So we can take a look at what you're looking at, like food. I know you mentioned food. I mean, that could possibly be, we would need a receipt at that point. So that might be something we would have to reimburse you for, because we can't technically just give you cash, but we can do a
Right,
reimbursement.
yeah. But I mean,
Yeah.
if like a family, if a girl wants to go to the Bronx Zoo, and a family for an individual separate from the troop, if a girl wants to go to the Bronx Zoo with her individual money that she's earned, $75, $20, and all of those things, she obviously can't go by herself.
Right.
Are we going to break it down though and say, okay, only this is going for the girl, and this is not, we're not going to help with the parent that's taking her, or gas or any of that stuff?
Well, yeah, gas and everything we can't really take a look at, but we can take a look at the parent. If a caregiver, if she needs a caregiver with her, we can take a look at that. That's definitely an option.
I think that this year is so different because there are so many folks who aren't comfortable still going in a larger group for their troop, that they may rather put their toe in the water, so to speak, with a family trip instead of a troop, but then hopefully feel more comfortable. And what I think I hear you saying, Alexis, is that a little tchotchke to remember the adventure at the end is something that many girls consider part of the adventure. Is that kind of what you're saying? No? Okay, maybe.
Yeah, I think Julie, I think you were right. I think that was what you were after.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely we can take a look at that, but again, we would have to have, it's hard. We can't give you that money up front without knowing what the cost is. We would have to have some sort of.
We can't give money up front in general, just because of.
Yeah. There is a question if they want to apply their entire adventure voucher to camp. Contacting Sandy, are you talking this year's or last year's? If it was last year's, yes, at this point we would contact Sandy. With this year's, you are going to get it like you would have cookie dough in the past, and they will be able to use that in double knot. And Misty Joe brought up a good point. Like there's a lot of things at these parks that aren't included in admission, like making their own cotton candy or certain attractions there. They can definitely be used for those if they want to. I know somebody who is going on the Kalahari trip looked it up and saw that there's zip lining and things like that that aren't included in the admission. So those would definitely be covered. We would just need to know, and we could pay for that up front because we could get a quote. There's a little more to come later on. We're finalizing everything, and it should be all out by April. Jacqueline, I'm not quite sure on this question for the end of the year.
I'm gonna ask somebody from membership to step up on that because I don't work with financials for troops. So the question is, end of the year financials, what would the reimbursement from the vouchers go under? Income for the troops?
Yes, because what they paid out, if it's in a reimbursement, then the money that they pay out would go out under money out for an activity. And so whatever line it belongs in. And then one of the lines of income is money from Girl Scouts of NYPENN Pathways. So it would go in that line. And the finance report is through, I apologize, I just had this total pause, through the end of April, due May 31st. So dependent on when that expense comes and the reimbursement comes back to you, whether or not it would be in this year's. That's a good question. Thanks for asking.
All right. Any more questions other than adventure vouchers for the product team?
Okay, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Who on our wonderful outdoor programming team, Chainsaw is dancing at this moment, would like to talk about give an overview, just an update about summer camp and anything going on around that, and make sure that we are answering any questions around camping.
Yeah, I can do that. So hi, my name is Chainsaw. I'm the camp director at Hoover. So if you are following any of our camps or GS NYPENN on any social medias, you'll see that last week we sort of announced everything that would generally be in our camp brochure. We announced it and put it out online. We didn't send out a camp brochure because obviously things change, especially with COVID, and also the turnaround time for a camp brochure is just not realistic. But so we announced all that on our social media last week, and all of that information is now available on the website as well. So it's got everything from like camp themes, dates, prices, trips, all of that stuff. So that's all on the website, and registration for the general public opens up on April 19th at 9 a.m. And the whole registration process is extraordinarily similar to what it has been in the past. It's still on double knot, same sort of situation there. So that's what is up with summer camp. And if anyone has any questions, we can certainly do our best to answer them.
Thanks, Becca. We're excited to be planning to, at this juncture, have camp. There was a question about, are we going back to talk about Kalahari? I think that's a Ray question. But before we go back there, are there any questions about camp, concerns about camp, anything that folks want us to know for the greater good? Okay, if you do have any, just put them in the chat and I'll turn over to you, Ray.
All right, sounds good. So Kalahari, that is on July 14th. So it's the night of July 14th into the 15th. You will get one room, which can hold up to 4 people. Anybody that is registered up to 4 people will get a ticket. So it can be a girl and her family up to 4 people, or so that is what Kalahari is. So That includes the indoor, outdoor water park. Any additionals will, yes, it does have to be July 14th. That is the date we negotiated with Kalahari. So yes, it does have to be July 14th. So that is at the 2,000 package level also.
Thank you, Ray.
Yep.
I've never even heard of Kalahari, so that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's great. It looks amazing. It's actually on my birthday on July 14th, and I might be spending my birthday in Kalahari.
Yay. Hey, Donna Clark, how you doing? Donna has a question of, will we be notified of what money and deposits or credit we have from last year, or will it be in double knot? So money and deposits or credit, you, Donna, you mean towards activities?
Is this about summer camp? The rollovers from last year?
Yep.
Okay, yes. So the deal with people who are rolling over their summer camp registrations from 2020 to 2021. Last year we kept your deposit, and so that was the idea behind that, is that you get to register early in 2021. So how that is going to work is late this week or early next week, you will get an email from your camp director sort of explaining to you how that process is going to work, and your registration date will be on April 1st. So if you are a rollover registration, you'll be able to register on April 1st. I think you're going to have like about a week to register, then we'll close registrations to the early registration people, sort of resort some things on the back end, and then general registration will open up on the 19th. I think you actually have early birds have 2 weeks, or early rollover registrations have 2 weeks to register. And then, like I said, general registration will open up on the 19th. But as far as how the rollover process is going to work, is you will definitely be receiving an email from your camp director with a lot more details about that.
There is a question of confusion about the 4 people.
Yep.
Ray, clarify.
Yep, I was just waiting for Becca to be done there. Christina kind of answered it in the chat, but yes. So when the girl earns that overnight, you have the room, and it can be up to 4 people can stay in that room, and you get 4 water park tickets with that room if 4 people stay. If there's only 2 people in the room, you can only have 2 water park tickets. There's also the question that if somebody cannot go to Kalahari on that day, we are looking to do something. It probably is not going to be another trip. It'd probably be something along the lines of a gift card or something along those lines to equate to the value of that Kalahari trip.
Okay, Jillian had a question about that maybe Chainsaw can answer, stacking, or somebody stacking can counts. How would that work, and is it possible? I don't know if that's a Jillian, I mean a Becca or a Ray or someone else.
I did ask Liz about that last week, and she said she was going to have to talk to someone else about it.
Okay,
So
I'm sorry.
I know that's out of my pay range.
The stacking camp discounts, are we talking from last year, or are we talking adventure vouchers and the camp discounts?
I think what most people are asking about is, like, usually for cookie sales, one of the prizes is you get a free week of camp. And obviously, like, they didn't get a free week of camp in 2020 because camp didn't happen. And so if people got a free week of camp in 2020 and 2021, then what?
Yep, those can be redeemed again this year. They can be combined up to $900 depending on the level you're at, or depending on what you what package level you sold. So yes, they can be stacked along with adventure vouchers to pay for a camp or a camp or a program that the camp team offers.
Just to keep things about summer camp while we're here,
Yeah, there you go.
Amanda Coyle asked about trips, and I know that Beth and Katie are in El McCall, and you folks do more trips than I do, so I don't know if either of you want to talk to the trips situation.
I am here.
Yes, so we do not have any out of state trips planned at this point in time. We figured that it would be the most safest and, better call to not take girls off site out of state. So with that being said, for those of you that were on my camp announcement last Thursday, I announced that after camp ends this in August, I plan to run 2 trips. They're not going to be as long as the trips were last year for anybody that was registered for the Saranac Lake trip. They're going to be shorter. The 2 that I'm offering, we're going to have one that is going to be for older girls that we're going to do the Saranac Lake, just a little bit shorter. And we're going to do a second one to the Tupper Lake region. 3-day, 2-night, a little bit smaller. And these will be available when registration begins for those of you that are early birds on April 1. And if not, they'll still be available on the April 19th date. I'm also, depending on the demand, I know that a lot of, these trips are going to be smaller. I only capped them at 6 girls just due to equipment, capacity, things like that. If I get more interest, I am more than willing to take troops on a troop excursion, kind of me guiding them along depending on what the demand is. But I'm completely flexible. So I plan to run these all the way, probably until September, to be honest. So very flexible. If you have people that need them, just reach out to me. I'm more than willing to do what needs to be done so that we can make people happy.
A couple questions about that, Beth. Thank you for that clarification.
Yeah.
I have my daughter sitting here with me asking questions. Can you talk a little bit about either of those trips to I don't know what you said, Tupper Lake and
Yes.
Saranac Lake? Like
Yep.
what will happen? Is it sailing? Is it hiking? Like what is it?
Yeah, so the Saranac Lake trip was a little bit longer. And this one I originally put out for seniors ambassadors or cadets that are super eager and physically ready. This trip is going to be, I think I planned for a 5-day, 4-night. And we're going to be on the water the majority of the time. So we're going to have a day here at Trefoil. And I'm just going to be very transparent. These trips are not like a normal camp experience. So normally when girls register for, trips that go off site, they basically are here at camp and then they go on the trip and they come back and do normal camp things like swimming, boating, archery, things like that. We're not going to do that. I want these trips to maximize the time off site. So the girls are going to come in and we're going to plan and prepare the night before at Trefoil. So they will be here and then we're just going to take off in the van. So we're going to go, so the Saranac Lake trip, we're going to get dropped off and I plan to do, I believe it's middle and lower, and this is all primitive camping. So we're going to canoe because we can take more gear in a canoe than we can in the kayak. So we're going to canoe and each girl is going to have their own equipment, bear kegs, tents, things like that, just so that we can be as safe as we can. And we're going to be out and then we'll come back. We'll be at Trefoil when we get back. And then, like I said, the majority of the trip is out on the water, just primitive camping. The second Tupper Lake trip is it's not super front country, but it's also not very back country. I'm looking at a site up there in the region somewhere, and it's probably going to be more car camping, to be honest. Maybe a lean-to here and there, but this one's shorter as well, so 3-day, 2-night. And we're going to plan to do the Tupper Lake Triad. So for those of you that are familiar with that, it's very easy going. I did it this past summer. I love it. It's basically just 3 mountains. One of them has a fire tower on it. So we plan to just get a site and then kind of just jump off from there. So one day, we'll pick a mountain each day. And kind of do some things around the area, maybe head up Lake Placid and show the girls that. But yeah, that's just more like kind of just, very front country, not really, you don't have to be really super prepared for that. And the hikes are no more than 3 miles. So it's very, it's a good kind of trip for beginners. So yeah. Does that answer everything?
Yeah, thank you. And camp money can be used towards those
Yes.
trips?
Yep, absolutely, yes. Yep.
Okay.
Camp money and adventure vouchers. So again, if anybody needs to stack, you can do that as well.
And do you have pricing out for those things that girls
I
can
do.
start to? Okay.
Yep. I think the Tupper Lake Triad, I think, was at $375 and the Saranac Lake one was at $450.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes, and all of that information is also on the website. So basically everything that Beth just said is on the website. And also this year at Hoover, I plan on doing a number of overnights on the islands, which are a brief like 2-day, 1-night camp out on the island at Hoover. And Katie's on. I don't know what's up with Katie and Amahami, but I don't know if you want to hear about what Katie might be doing.
I think
Hi.
I think Christina has her hand up.
Oh,
I I thought that maybe we could clear up a little bit of confusion about the camp credits and adventure vouchers before we move on, because I've seen some stuff over in the chat, and Julia's absolutely right. We can work something out. We already met and we do have our something worked out, so it's
Yes.
super cool. We are honoring last year's camp credits. They are stackable with this year's camp credits. And folks are able to use their adventure vouchers towards camp for this year. Last year's camp credits and this year's camp credits must be redeemed by December 18. And that means that you would be able to, what you're applying them, because you may have a lot, right? If you earned camp credit last year and this year, you may have a lot. And so there's no cash value paid back to you if you don't use all of it, but you could book something else. So you could book the Mom and Me. You could go on, as Beth was saying, even if she did something specifically for a troop, you could use your camp credits for those activities as well. So anything that is one of our camp programs, you'll be able to, the girls will be able to apply that camp credit for, and they are able to stack last year and this year, as long as they utilize it by December 18. Is that helpful?
Thanks,
Yes,
Christy.
thank you very much, Christina.
Yeah, no
So
problem.
I can jump in then for Amahami. We aren't going to be leaving camp property this year, but we are offering overnight backpacking on camp property. Amahami has about 450 acres of land. So very similar to what Beth is doing, where they'll spend one night preparing for the adventure. They will pack their food, they will pack their gear, and then they're going to head out pretty much in the backcountry at camp. So they will be, digging cat holes and cooking on a backpacking stove, and they'll have the individual tents for each girl. So you'll get the same experience. She's clapping. Yes, cat holes are hysterical. But yeah, so they'll have that experience. They'll just be at camp. So definitely check it out. It's called Amahami Outback. It is on the website. For the younger girls that aren't quite ready to be completely unplugged in a way, we are going to start slow and teach them how to set up a tent, how to set up their own camp for a leave no trace, to make sure their cooking area is away from their sleeping area, and their cat hole area is away from where they sleep too. So there's that little triangle that they'll learn about for leave no trace. So definitely check out the websites.
Katie, I'm guessing that hole might be what I'm thinking it might be.
Yes.
Wow, you learn something new every day.
It's how we have to do things in the backcountry. You do your business in a little hole and you bury it. If anyone wants to talk about backcountry sanitation, it gets interesting. Some places you can't leave anything behind. You actually have to put it in a baggie, like at the dog park, and bring it home. So high use areas, that's a thing. In the desert, there are different rules for the Northeast, where there's more moisture in the soil. There's lots and lots of things that we can talk about. And I know that's TMI for some people, but we will learn about that. So definitely check it out.
If the world comes to an end, I'm going to Amahami to be with Katie.
You got to find me first, Julie. Learn the skills now.
I should, yes. Yeah, I'm sorry that I wasn't clear. We're still looking at camp, renting the camps overnight for troops, trying to figure out how we can work that out regarding sanitation and things like that. So more to come on that. I apologize. Okay, other questions about camp, or other questions in general, concerns that you want us to know while we're on with you tonight?
I have one more just for clarification, and I apologize. I'm like still in cookie brain, so I know that I probably know the answer, but for LITs, it's seniors and ambassadors. If they're bridging at the end of this year, that they're considered seniors. Is that correct?
Yeah, so for all of our summer camp programs, it's when you see like grade 1, it's like the grade that they're going into in September for no real reason other than to be consistent. But yeah, for all of those summer programs, it's always the grade they're going into.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure.
Also, Bryn Luca had a question about overnight rentals and things like that. At least for like our camp properties, we are permitted by the state of New York, so they have total and complete authority over what we do. And right now, our state permits don't allow us. Well, we can technically have overnights, but there's like a ton of caveats attached to it, and it's very complicated. And so because of that, as of right now, that's why we're not doing overnights at our camps, because of our state permitting. Other campgrounds and things like that are permitted differently. So you would have to
I can speak to that, Becca. Yeah, Becca, I can speak to that question there because it may be on other people's minds as well. We actually have approved some camp troop activity applications because of the safety parameters that those troops had in play. Sorry, it's getting a little loud at my house. There's hockey on. But anyway, so we haven't been able to approve some of the TAAs for camp overnights because those were girls that were able to be in their own tents. And so we didn't have to worry about close proximity when they were sleeping and not masked. We had such protocol in place so that we didn't have to worry about any other hygiene components. So if a troop wants to submit a troop activity application at this time, we would consider it, but we would be making those considerations based on all of the guidelines issued by state and CDC and GSUSA for overnights. So it's not a no, it's a let's figure out how to be able to do it safely for everyone.
Okay. Any other questions?
Someone asked about the Promise Center and the STEM lab for rentals. I'm pretty sure, correct me someone else if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure those are available for day rentals, like with all the COVID whatnot.
Yep.
Correct.
Yep. And what is the time span for the financial troop report again, Christina? Sorry. Oh, Colleen already told us. You're on it. And Bryn, thank you so much for assisting your mom in zooming in. I often need help myself. So let's see. Any other questions? One more. Should we contact the individual camp director for availability if we're interested in doing camping? Are you seeing that camping team? I don't know.
Actually, that would come through to your local engagement manager.
Yeah, if it's not on a camp property, that goes through your engagement manager. If it's like on a camp property, then talk to the camp directors.
Very good.
And if you want help with it, you can always email me as well. I can put my email right in there and I'm happy to help walk you through it so that we can make it successful.
Ray, I don't want to speak out of turn, but I believe that the Promise Center is available on weekends. I'm for rental. I think it has been for a while, right?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay. And the treats, reads, and more pizza party reimbursements. When will the troops get that credit back?
Those have to be emailed into Sandy. She has the listing of all of that, and she's already emailed all the troops that earned it this past season that we just finished. So you should have already received that email so that your troop can start redeeming them. And then there were instructions in that email of how to redeem it for your troop.
So I guess if you didn't get the email, maybe reach out to somebody on our team.
Yep.
Yep, definitely. And if you've submitted it and you haven't received it yet, Sandy was working on a ton of them today. I think over 50 came in or something along those lines.
And just to clarify, the fall rewards have not yet shipped out yet. We did have some congestion at the docks with them coming in from overseas, and story of my life with this year, everything gets stuck with inbound everything. But they are on their way to the M2 warehouse, and I have not yet received any other updates. So as soon as I receive the next update, I will communicate that with coordinators, but nothing has come yet from the M2.
Okay. All righty. Well, if there are, Ray, I think, Ray Cologne, I think that should be fine. So if you want to reach out to us after this, and I can just check with our facilities director, our property director, to make sure that I'm right, I will follow up with you. Sue, is there going to be the same problem with the cookie rewards? It will depend, I think, and I'll let Jacqueline speak and Ray. I mean, the rewards that are in the United States will not be a problem. If we are ordering anything overseas, it's unpredictable. I don't know if you can add to that, Ray and Jacqueline.
I'm gonna assume, and I know I probably shouldn't, but I'm going to assume that there shouldn't be any issues with the cookie program. We did kind of know ahead of time, not ahead of time, but we knew that the fall rewards were going to take some time shortly after the program ended, because of the gigantic volume that the girls were selling this fall product stuff, which is good. It's a good problem to have, but the company just did not anticipate the amount of girls achieving these levels, which is why everything was running behind. They had to produce more and get more. And the fall program and the cookie program run completely independently of each other. So they have different vendors, different everything. So I'm going to say that we shouldn't have any problems at this time. If we do hear anything, Little Brownie is really good about addressing that ahead of time, and we will communicate that if anything should happen.
I think you're right. And I think that it won't be as problematic. I mean, but I hate to say anything because
well, maybe everybody will get everything all at once and distribute it all at once. It'll be a mega giant celebration of fall and cookies all at once. And there'll be so much stuff for the girls to enjoy all at once.
And then you'll have a big pizza party and everybody will have their vaccinations. It'll be really great.
It'll be delightful.
All righty. We do have about 10 more minutes. If there are any other questions or anything anyone wants to share, suggestions, anything, we're here listening.
Julie, I have a super random question that maybe kind of the Girl Scout hive mind could help with. So thinking about bridging for the end of this year and it not looking the same, and like my troops have always bridged inside the church that we bridge at. Ideas for outside bridging, like people maybe that are local to me, bridges that are outside that they know that we can walk over. I don't know, open to ideas, suggestions. I just want to plan something special for the girls and make sure everybody's safe at the same time.
We had a really fun time last year, Amanda. I'm sorry, I can't remember which troop it was, but it was in New Hartford. They actually chopped an entire bridge on a street and like closed off the street, and they drew flowers, and I went and they walked across the bridge outside on the street and got goodie bags, and it was really sweet. So I think there are a lot of really creative ideas.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was really fun and safe. So I'm sure that there's tons of stuff out there. We should put it out on Chatter or something. Maybe Colleen probably knows a lot
There's
too.
The bridge is on on the Parkway. When you're driving on the Parkway, there's a butterfly garden on the one side and the bridge on the other. I heard of a couple of troops doing something there because they're spaced out and parents can space out around the pond.
Awesome.
And then you have the girls walk from one side to the other.
Nice.
But that's popular. And a lot of just local parks and somewhere have like those little bridges that go over the creeks. So you can do that too.
And by
sorry. I was just going to say, I think we're all going to be thinking about that soon. Like it's going to be time to start planning some amazing outdoor bridging adventures.
Oh, it worked. And I had a
There
troop.
were a lot of really cool ones last year too.
Yeah, I had a troop build a bridge as a bronze project, and then they set it out and let the whole service unit use it. They just passed it around. So, and it came apart into 4 pieces. So it was neat. I don't know if it made it through the whole bridging process. I don't know what's left of it, but they did that.
That's awesome. And Bethany, I just read your comment and oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Wouldn't that be the best?
It's my dream. I want a troop to do it so badly so I can
I
cheer
love
them on.
that. That's so great.
Oh, I
Council-wide
might
bridge
have a troop
tinfoil.
for you.
Oh, Beth, that would be so fun. They could zip line over the bridge. Oh my gosh, I love that.
I'm texting my troop now. Hold on.
Yeah, shoot me some pricing.
That's awesome. And, you know, also just by that time, the church may be willing to hold separated very far apart, 100 people or 50, you know, so I think things will change as well as we, you know, continue to follow the state directions. But yes, Shove Park is really beautiful. I've done a lot of stuff there with my child's school. So. All righty then. I just want to, again, thank you all, volunteers, staff members, service unit leaders, cookie people. I feel like there's a light at the end of the tunnel coming here. I am getting my first vaccination on Friday. I'm very excited. And so we're looking forward to getting back to seeing each other. And I know we can't say enough how important it is for the girls to be able to get out there, to get together, to have experiences. And that is really our desire. I know I've spent quite a bit of time at the fairgrounds with the girls who are selling there. And one of the funnest things is that the building we're in is so big that they can run around in it. And it was so fun to see them playing and enjoying themselves. Colleen's daughter was hilarious. So they're just, I can't wait to see the girls together again safely, being able to enjoy their time together. So with that, I thank you and I hope you have a wonderful evening. Good night, everybody.